Hello, Elliot. This is Will. You and I have been corresponding by YouTube concerning your 220 SB, and Steve is here, and he is going to answer your question about your shift linkage, the mysterious shift linkage.
Yeah, we're trying to get this sorted out. So we have official manual here that gives us our information. Should you lose your mark, you're supposed to reference mark this before you take it apart, but if you don't, here's what Mercedes tells you. They're talking about the selector lever, which is the top lever, which moves the plate in here, which selects between, you can see it in the middle here, moving between the different shifting forks to select whether you're going to use the first, second gear, third, fourth gear, or reverse. And then this lever here is the shift lever that actually moves and changes gears. So what Mercedes says is the selector finger lever, which is the top one, and it should be at right angles. The lever on top should be right angles to the lever inside, so that as it moves, it lines up. And so on this one, with it in the first gear position, it's almost exactly parallel with the front of the transmission. And as it goes towards the reverse, it goes back. So on this particular gearbox, which is unmolested, all the way forward is your first, second, that's your third, fourth, that's your reverse. Right now this gearbox is in neutral. If we pull it in towards first gear and actually select first gear, the shaft ends up being exactly perpendicular, which is what it says in here. Shifting shaft lever in first or third speed position, the lever must be perpendicular to the separating surface of the top cover, which is what we have here. This is first gear. If we go back to neutral and go towards third, again, it ends up, I went too far, that's reverse. There's third gear. See how it's straight up and down, and it'll go forward to get second or fourth. So with luck, that'll help you out on that. That's back in neutral. And about right there would be neutral in the shift linkage. Then further on, up at the steering wheel itself, in the book, with the transmission in neutral and the linkage hooked up, should be 80 millimeters. The tip of the shift lever should be 80 millimeters from perfectly horizontal in neutral, and the shifting mechanism inside, where is it? Got enough pictures here. Inside the column should be centered.
Is that where a place marker is?
Yeah, it's close. Inside here in neutral, the lever should be exactly perpendicular to the steering column when it's in neutral. This is your lever coming up this way. And the tip of the lever should be 80 millimeters from horizontal coming out from the column. And then on the mechanism at the end of the steering column, if you had these levers off, this lever is fixed on its splines. When you have it, you can see in the picture when it's parallel to the mounting flange, then when you put the lever on the bottom, it should be 90 degrees. And then you have the little, at the end of the steering column, the U-shaped lever, which goes on the end of the steering column, and you'll figure out where that goes when you've got your shift lever in neutral and your gearbox in neutral. Then that'll line up to keep the shafts at the 90 degrees. Hopefully that'll get you a start. Trying to remember what else we got here. I think that's about it for
There's that. Is that the curved one you're talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah.
Yeah.
That may be the last one that gets fixed in position after everything else is adjusted, or
Right.
you adjust your linkage to meet that.
Yeah, and the good news you have is your rods. If your rods should be the length they already were. So, if everything is in the correct position on these shafts, then when neutral, the rods should just go in basically straight up. So that should also help you out.
Hopefully, this will help do the job for you. Well, good luck.